Unsung Murder Ballads discusses topics of a graphic nature and in graphic detail and may not be suitable for children under the age of 13. Listener discretion is advised. Hey everybody, welcome back to Unsung Murder Ballads. This is episode 31. I am Janus Dead.
I'm Jameson Dead.
And I'm Joyous Dead.
All right. Anything new going on with you guys this week?
Not a whole heck of a lot. How about you?
Oh, the same old, same old. It's actually been, at this point, our listeners haven't heard the three of us together now for 3 weeks. That's just crazy.
It's been that long.
Reunited,
Wow.
and it feels so good.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Sorry, friends. I was healing from surgery. Don't worry. I can walk again.
Yes, it was. She wasn't in an accident. Nothing crazy like that happened, but it was something that was necessary.
Unless I'm telling funny stories about how it happened. In that case, I was in a wild sex accident.
There you go. Actually,
that's my fake story. So that's what you get.
I knew a girl who was born where her arm ended right after the elbow. And people would ask her all the time what happened. And she would just tell them. And I'm like, you should totally just tell them your arm was bitten off by a shark or something fun like that.
It's way more fun than the truth, which is playing rec league soccer. It's so much more fun.
Yeah, because the truth half the time is pretty lame, which is why conspiracy theories are so easily available.
So true.
Yeah. We do want to take a moment. I do want to kind of address something that happened. So we've gotten some criticism, quote unquote, about, being insensitive and not taking something seriously because somebody died. We call it gallows humor. It's kind of a dark humor. It's our thing. If you don't like that, that's cool. There are other podcasts for you. This one may not be yours, but those of you that have been with us and understand what we're doing, thank you all. I appreciate that.
Yeah, right? I think that's really, really well said. And, we encourage engagement of all kinds, even if it's negative. I mean, it may not be the thing for you. And unfortunately, we have a way of doing things, and the way that we present our cases is the way that works for us. And if you like it, great. If not, unfortunately, you may have to find something else to listen to.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to apologize for being who we are. I hate to say it. And don't we have something else we need to say tonight?
Yes, I have a shout out to one of our listeners out there, Maya. Thank you so much for listening to all the episodes of our podcast. You're the best. And
there
we love you.
Maya.
Can I tell you, I started going through what cities, because I saw on a particular site for Buzzsprout, who is our kind of like our server, they post which cities we were downloaded in. And it's amazing how many cities, but we have listeners in New Zealand that have listened to every episode.
No
well,
kidding.
we love y'all, the country of New Zealand.
But I mean, obviously, Millennium Angel in Australia is listening to every episode. There are some that are very obvious, but I was just surprised. And then there's one where it's multiple cities throughout the state of Kansas. And I was like, well, that's weird. But then it occurred to me that it's because it's where the downloads took place. So it's probably the same person traveling throughout Kansas. Or I'm assuming, I don't know. If you're the listener in Kansas or listeners from Kansas, hey, let us know. We want to know. But I'm trying to figure out why it's just one city throughout, one episode per different towns or cities. It was really interesting.
That's great.
All right, so let's get started with tonight's episode. You guys ready?
As ready as we'll ever be.
On the morning of August 5th, 2009, Dahlia DiPolito received the worst call of her life.
Oh, boy.
It was the Boynton Beach Police Sergeant Frankie Ranzi urging her to rush home. She was at the gym, and he's urging her to rush home. When she arrived, she's told that her husband, Mike DiPolito, has been murdered. She broke down in tears, and when investigators asked her to come to the police station to help them kind of talk about suspects, she agreed, unaware that they already had a suspect.
What?
Whoa.
Okay.
Police sat with her, asking her questions about who might want her husband dead. She said that he was on probation and that he may have made enemies throughout his life. It was then that the police opened the door to the interrogation room and revealed her husband standing there alive and well.
Are you kidding me?
Whoa, what?
And that's when they told her that everyone knew the truth already. That Dahlia had hired someone to kill her husband.
Holy shit.
Wow.
This is the story of Dahlia Depolito, but this is also the first of what will hopefully be many of what we're going to be calling murder ballad fumbles, baby.
Oh,
fumbling the
there
bag.
we go.
So going back to what we were saying earlier about us talking about crimes in a very humorous way, that's what this episode's all about. We are literally going to ridicule the criminals in this story for being idiots and not accomplishing what they meant to do. But keep in mind, we understand the gravity of these crimes. You know, people get hurt, some of them physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever it might be. So if this isn't your cup of tea, that's okay. You can skip this episode. But tonight we're going to have some fun making fun of some idiots.
Now, do we get to make fun of the cops along the way?
We can make fun of everybody. Who cares?
Are there some cop fumbles in these cases?
There always is. Do the cops ever not fumble?
Well, I know, but I mean, I feel like that we're highlighting fumbles more in this episode, so I'm hoping that there's some face palming moments here.
That's awesome. So I can't promise you that you'll get to make fun of the police pretty hard in this episode, but
all right. Well, hopefully at some point
I'll find a way. Don't worry.
So I do want to say that we're going to do one that involves like the actual attempted murder, and then I'm going to do two very short ones, but the crimes were so ridiculous I couldn't not share them.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So with that said, let's talk about Dahlia Depolito and her attempt to hire someone to murder her husband. Dahlia was born in New York City on October 18th, 1982. She was born Dahlia Mohammed, and her two siblings were raised by an Egyptian father and a Peruvian mother. Her family relocated to Boynton Beach, Florida when she was 13 years old, where she graduated from high school in 2000. Uncertain of a career path, she opted for a real estate license and then began moonlighting as an escort.
Nothing like a real full service real estate agent.
Hey, maybe it helped her sell houses.
And check out the bedroom. Could you picture us here?
Yeah. And she's already got a bed in there.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works, girly.
Well, it was through that work that she met Michael Depolito in 2008. So even though he was married at the time, he fell head over heels in love with Dahlia and divorced his wife to marry her. I'm sorry. That's some serious manipulation shit right there. I'm not saying saying he didn't genuinely care, but that's some crazy shit.
That's fucked.
Especially because their wedding day was February 2nd, 2009, only 5 days after his divorce was finalized.
Yikes. Oh, my brother in Christ. Oh.
That's a little heartless.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I wish I could talk to his ex-wife. That would be fun to talk to about all this.
Man,
yeah, she must have some abilities. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike Depolito was an ex-convict who served time in prison and was on probation for stock fraud. So it's the white collar crime kind of stuff, which is, okay, makes sense. I mean, I can see someone committing stock fraud and not feeling too guilty about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it didn't take long after tying the knot, however, for him to have a series of bizarre encounters with law enforcement that jeopardized his freedom. One evening, he was pulled over by police after taking Dahlia out for dinner. Police found cocaine in his cigarette pack.
That's a great place for that.
Well, he insisted he didn't put it there.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. It was the one-armed man.
Yeah, but seriously, he's like, it's not mine. And amazingly, they let him go, believing he was sincere in his refuting of the evidence.
Okay, this is where I can make fun of the cops.
There we go. Yeah, we go. Strike number one.
Man. Okay, well, that's silly. But I guess, innocent until proven guilty. But usually, I'm gonna guess this guy's white. Just a little guess.
Yes, he's white.
Yeah. Okay, figured.
Depolito is Italian, I believe.
Yeah, that was my guess too. But sometimes you never know. But I was gonna say, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's white.
That's the only way he's getting away after having a cigarette pack full of coke.
Well, here's my thing. I think the cop wanted it himself.
True. This isn't yours, so I'll take that.
Okay, so it's not yours. I'll believe you. Hand it over.
Yeah, just like every time a cop touches fentanyl, then they overdose. Haha.
So,
yeah, okay. Yeah, you just touched it.
So on the morning after, Dahlia handed him a Starbucks drink, and Mike felt so sick that he was literally in bed for days. Yeah. So I don't know how he
was
didn't
it them
coming.
Starbucks Oleato drinks, the ones with olive oil that make you shit yourself?
Oh God.
Oh dear God.
No, thank you. What the hell is that?
Oh, it was just this line of Starbucks drinks that they did. I think it was earlier this year where they used olive oil as an ingredient. No, I never tried any of these because that sounds gross to me.
Right.
But apparently it's like an Italian thing.
Oh.
I don't know. But anyway, everyone was drinking them and then like absolutely shitting their pants.
That's crazy.
That's really gross.
Oh yeah, it was gross. I don't think they sell those anymore.
I hope not.
Obviously, this isn't the time frame.
I mean, it's fine if that's what you're marketing the drink for.
It's not.
Enjoy this weird latte on the toilet.
It was like, yeah, now everyone has to feel what I feel as a lactose intolerant who chooses to drink milk.
Oh man.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry for the diversion.
It's all right. It's all right. So Mike's encounters with police started escalating from that point forward. The police had received an anonymous tip that Mike was working as a drug dealer. Though no evidence was found, Michael DePolito was scared enough that a charge might stick that he became afraid of losing his possessions via seizures. So what do you think he does?
Sticks his cocaine in his cigarette pack?
No.
Hides a bunch of his stuff, right? Probably his valuables. He starts hiding it.
Worse.
Does he flush it?
No, worse.
Oh,
he agrees. He agrees to transfer the title of his house to Dahlia to protect his assets in case he was arrested.
God.
Oh, okay, and obviously, well, not to jump the gun, but she probably reported him as a possible drug dealer, probably.
Yeah, it was definitely her making the anonymous calls. Yes.
Yeah.
And she's now getting exactly what she wanted because she's been planning his death for weeks at this point. So Dahlia approached an ex-boyfriend to source a hitman for the job, which is ironic that we've talked about something like this recently. Instead of taking the job or putting her in touch with a hitman, this ex-boyfriend did the right thing and called the police.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the police were skeptical of his claim at first, but they chose to investigate. So, which is amazing because, you were looking for any window to make fun of the police. That's not going to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
However, by chance, the TV show Cops was working with that very police department that week. And they agreed to film everything.
Shut the fuck up. Can you just tell me right now if this is a released episode?
It's got to be out there somewhere. This
oh
happened
my
in 2009.
fucking god! Oh, that's good content.
Yes.
So they set up a hidden camera in Dahlia's ex-boyfriend's car and told him to schedule a meeting with her. Dahlia met with him on July 30th, 2009 in a gas station parking lot where he told her he had a contact that could do the job. She would be able to meet this contact in 2 days' time to coordinate the details. Unbeknownst to Dahlia, the Boynton Beach Police Department had an officer go undercover as this hitman to confirm her intentions.
And she fell for an undercover cop? Idiot.
It's crazy. So, again, the police department coordinated with the producers from Cops and to record the meeting, which took place in a red convertible in a random parking lot on August 1st. The recordings of Dahlia's solicitations is completely undeniable. She talks about it all. Posing as this hitman, the officer asked Dahlia, "Are you sure you want to kill him?" Without hesitation, Dahlia replies, "There's no changing. I'm determined already. I'm positive. I'm like 5,000% sure."
Wow.
Fucking idiot.
That's pretty incriminating.
Yeah, you can't lay it out any more than that.
Mm-hmm.
She then gave him $7,000 and agreed that she would go to her local gym on the morning of Wednesday, August 5th, to establish an alibi for herself while the murder was taking place.
Oh my god.
Okay, wait. Only 7,000? That's it?
Yeah, I mean,
cheap. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it's yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it probably sounds pretty cheap. I mean, considering it was 1500 here in Worcester. So,
yeah, pretty. I mean, I don't know. If you're a hitman, right, and you're risking going to prison for life every time you do this, you'd be charging a lot more than that. I don't know about you.
I would think so too. Yes. I mean,
that's why
I'm thinking
absolutely surprised.
Yeah, I'm thinking in terms of the mafia in New York, where like they're just told to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But yeah, 7,000 is probably not enough. But the morning of the murder, Dahlia went to the gym at 6 a.m. just as she said she would. And while she's away, the police set up the fake crime scene at their townhouse. Like she returns and several police cars are parked out front. They had cordoned off with everything with yellow tape. They had forensics photographers there documenting everything. Of course, she has no idea that cops is also there.
Oh my God, the theatrical production of it all. Amazing.
It's so funny. So when she's told her husband's been killed, if you watch the footage, because it is on YouTube, she responds like a half a second too early. So it kind of gives it away, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, like but I mean, at the same time, you could argue that she has to kind of know what they're going to say anyway in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, so maybe it wasn't a second too early, but it was weird to say the least. She then sobs into this officer's arms as he tells her that her husband's dead and, they need help. So Sergeant Paul Sheridan, he starts comforting her, as a widow. He's talking to her in a very, calm tone, and he takes her to the police station to help them identify a suspect. Now, gauging her reaction, Sheridan brought in the supposed hitman into the room wearing handcuffs and claimed to her, "This is our suspect. He was seen fleeing your house." And the police officer who's playing this caught criminal denies knowing her. And she in turn denies knowing him as well. So they're just baiting the hook. She's thinking she might get away with this.
They're kind of toying with her because they could honestly just I don't know. Maybe they're waiting to get more information out of her so they can make a better conviction.
Yeah, that's my guess, because she might, like, her big thing is once she sees the guy she hired in handcuffs and he's not turning her in immediately, that's going to make her feel more confident.
Yeah.
So, which is just amazing. It's at this point when she denies knowing him that the police decide, they're no longer going to toy with her. They open the door and there's Mike DiPolito standing there telling her that he knows everything. But Dahlia doesn't miss a beat in her attempts to manipulate him. She literally says, "Mike, come here." She starts begging, "Come here, please, come here. I didn't do anything to you." Like, she's going to continue to try to manipulate this guy.
Whoa.
So he tells her she's on her own and he leaves.
Okay. I'm surprised that he didn't break.
Interesting. Well, I'm interested to see more about what her angle was.
Oh, just wait until you hear her defense.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Oh, it's got to be insanity of some sort.
Dahlia was charged moments later with solicitation of first-degree murder. Do you want to take a guess at who she made her phone call to when she got her chance to make her phone call?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, the obvious would be a lawyer, but probably not.
That'd be the obvious
cop.
guess.
The cop, the drug dealer.
No, she called her husband Mike.
Huh. All right. So I was going to say that, but I thought that it'd be too much of a far-fetched idea. But apparently not.
And not only does she deny trying to kill him, but then she criticized him for not getting her a lawyer.
This crazy bitch.
So Mike demanded the title of his property back in return for him comforting her distraught parents, because now they know.
Oof.
Right?
Oof. He's getting good plays.
Dahlia was released on $25,000 bail the next day.
Mama mia.
She paid $25,000 to get out, and her trial, of course, was looming on the horizon. Now, unfortunately, it would take 2 years before she went to trial.
Damn, and she's walking free this whole time?
The whole time. Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, especially after solicitation of murder charges. Like,
yeah.
Dang.
I would assume, though, if he turned up dead now, she'd be in she would definitely be the first suspect. So I think he's pretty safe.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true, but he's also not really safe because she might just do it anyway. She's crazy.
That's true. So her trial began in the spring of 2011. Prosecutors argued that Dahlia wanted her husband dead and control of his assets. Obviously. Now, Dahlia, in the meantime, is claiming, and this, I love this. She claims that she was aware she was being filmed the entire time with an undercover officer. And yeah,
well, that's rich.
And that it was her husband Mike's idea because he was so desperate to become a reality TV star that it was he who convinced her to concoct the murder for hire video. Your silence is amazing.
That is quite a story. I mean, that's tough. Like, I was sitting here wondering how the hell she's going to try to make a story. And you know what? She did.
She did. She
make a story.
She got some bullshit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So her attorney is quoted having said, "It was a stunt that Michael DePolito, whether he'll admit to it or not, hoped to capture the intention of someone in reality TV. Mike DePolito's hoax to achieve fame and fortune was just a bad prank."
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
So the jury had to listen to all that.
Mm-hmm.
And they found Dahlia guilty, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
She was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
Wow.
20 years for trying to hire someone to kill your husband.
Wow.
There are murderers who don't get 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, through appeal in 2014, it was found that the jury was improperly selected, and that led to a retrial in 2016.
Wow.
Yeah. So
did they ever explain what was wrong about the selection?
They didn't go into details that I saw, but my guess would be they probably had a jury pool from the same city that may have seen like the news reports. So oftentimes you're tried, if something like this, you'd be tried in a different city. That's my guess. So Mike DePolito had this to say, quote, "People tell me you're lucky to be alive." And I'm like, I guess, but I still have to go through all of this.
Oh, good response.
Yeah. He says it's like I can't even believe we're still sitting here like this girl didn't try to do this. Unquote.
Valid.
So despite the overwhelming evidence, that retrial ended in a 3-3 hung jury.
Are you for real?
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
So Dahlia DiPolito was released on house arrest and ended up giving birth to a son before her final trial in 2017.
By whom?
It doesn't specify. I didn't look too deep into that.
Damn, let's just bring a kid into this whole chaos. That's a great idea.
Who's the father? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's been 6 years since she tried to kill her husband. So,
but she's been in jail, right?
No, she was released on. She was released on bail.
Damn. She's on house arrest, right? So she's got a little bracelet, and she's still pulling impressive work.
She's probably still making her money.
Amen, sister. Do what you got to. Wild.
So her final trial began in 2017, and the circuit judge, Glenn Kelly, agreed with the defense that having cops film the arrest was an egregious mistake.
Interesting. Why is that?
Because it compromised the integrity of the case.
Oh, like cops as in the show, right? Sorry.
Correct. Sorry. Yes, cops.
Not the police. Cops the show.
But he did still sentence Dahlia to 16 years in prison. So she still got a good amount of time.
It seems like more than it would have been initially. So.
Well, yeah, she got 20 initially, but I agree, 16 for trying to hire someone to kill someone and really nothing else was a lot in my mind.
Yeah, about as much as you can get, probably.
So she appealed to the Florida Supreme Court in 2019, and that was rejected.
Mm-hmm.
So with no more appeals to file, Dahlia DiPolito will stay at the Lowell Correctional Institute in Ocala, Florida, until 2032. So,
wow.
Yeah, she's going to be there a long time. Well, actually, I guess it's only 9 more years.
Only.
Yeah, only, but that's still like I mean I'm older than you are, so time feels faster.
Yeah, fair.
That is the ridiculous case of Dahlia DiPolito. The first of
Damn.
our 3 quick cases here for today's fumbles.
Oh man, all I gotta say is don't hire a hitman. It's a bad idea.
I can't I don't know how many times someone hires a hitman and it successfully plays out,
I
but
guess we don't know truly because we
yeah,
don't know.
but at the same time, yeah, it's not a good idea. Like
No,
just
it's
get
just
away.
not.
Just I understand that there may be a little bit of greed in there on her part, but just go. Like if you don't want to be there, just leave.
Yeah, for real.
Just doesn't make sense.
No, it's nonsense.
All right, so the next 2 that we're going to discuss do not involve murders, but they are crimes, and they are so fucking stupid I couldn't resist putting them in here. So,
Oh, yes, let's go.
here we go. Derek Mosley. Now, Derek allegedly grabbed his trusty baseball bat and decided to go out and rob a store in Beaverton, Oregon, just outside Portland. A baseball bat.
Is it really not anything to do out there? They're just like, yep, we're gonna go rob something.
Yeah, I mean, he must have just been bored and thought, hey, let's do this. But
I'm gonna relive my old baseball glory days.
Unfortunately, he clearly had not fully thought out his plan because the store he decided to rob was a gun shop.
You idiot.
You're fucking real.
Oh my God.
Oh, man. That might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Now, maybe, just maybe, he was thinking to himself, the guns can't be loaded that they're selling, right? I mean, that's probably true, but that's probably what he's thinking, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, like safe storage and all that. If he's even thinking that far, like, yeah, plausibly they shouldn't be loaded in the store.
Probably not. But he obviously fails to take into account the very, very strong likelihood that those who work at the gun store might be a gun enthusiast who will likely take their gun to work with them.
Right? Yup.
So as such, when Mosley barged into the discount gun sales place and smashed the display counter with his baseball bat, and he began to steal an unloaded semi-automatic gun, he looked up and was met with someone that was completely unconcerned with his baseball bat.
Yeah, no kidding.
The store manager drew his own personal handgun and ordered Mosley to drop his bat, the knife he was carrying, and the unloaded handgun that he had just picked up. Wow.
Oh my God.
When the cops arrived, Mosley was on the floor, being held at gunpoint, presumably covered in glass fragments and shame. And there's a part of me that hopes he's also covered in his own urine. So Derek Mosley, who was only 22, was held at the Washington County, Oregon jail with a bond set of $250,000.
Oh.
Wow.
That's
for attempted robbery?
Yeah, that's 10 times the amount DiPolito was held for.
Yeah.
Damn. Just goes to show in this country, we care more about property crime than we do about crimes against people.
Yeah. And going back to what you were saying, because I didn't mention this at the beginning, Mosley is an African American as well. So that may have also factored into that. Now, it's not known what Mosley's intentions were once he had the handgun in his possession, but he was charged with first-degree robbery and unlawful possession of a firearm because he because he did in fact hold one for all of like 5 seconds. So on February 28th, 2014, Mosley pleaded guilty to 1 count of each second-degree theft and second-degree criminal mischief. He was
criminal mischief. Why is mischief charged?
That's kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah, that's really hilarious.
So he was sentenced to 5 years probation, which includes mental health treatment, and he was ordered to have no contact with the victim. I'm assuming the store manager, not the gun.
Yeah, for his own safety, not the store manager.
That was good.
For his own safety.
Yeah, for his own safety. So he also had to pay restitution of $350, as well as a $100 bench probation assessment and a $200 fine. So
that's it.
So $300 for a piece of glass. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, $300.
Feels like it costs more than that to get a contractor to fix a piece of glass. Just saying.
Yeah, this is Oregon. I don't know, but yeah, so that's like a total of $650 for his whole thing.
That I guarantee he didn't have to save his life.
Which is sad because you can probably get a decent gun for $650.
Literally. Wow, that was powerful.
Yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so now our final case, which is just equally as stupid. So.
All right, let's go.
So while stopped at a light, someone reached into the open rear window of Brad McDonald's car and grabbed a canvas bag that was sitting in his back seat and took off running with it. Inside the bag were no valuables, nothing like money or jewels, but McDonald was suddenly very concerned. Brad had just spent a good portion of his day collecting what was in that bag, and it was definitely annoying as hell that someone had just stolen it.
Yeah, that sucks.
You see, Brad was a professional snake catcher. And inside that bag was a red-bellied black snake, which is very poisonous.
That's gonna come back to bite him.
No
literally.
Way.
It is going to come back to bite him.
Oh man. So caught in a Primont home, the reptile was being kept in the canvas bag in McDonald's Land Cruiser as he was transporting it. The thief, who was about 5'10" or 180 centimeters, was wearing a red, it's funny, this is wearing a red sloppy Joe. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
He was wearing a red sloppy Joe and long dark pants and was last seen running with the bag towards a Department of Housing. And that's in Australia, so it's just weirdly listed. But the investigators said, quote, "I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall when he opened that bag." Unquote.
Oh, for real. That is so goddamn funny.
So investigators were checking hotels and emergency clinics for any bite victims that came in.
Oh, too good, too good.
And the authorities said, if the gentleman, and I like that they use gentleman, if the gentleman is prepared to come forward or even just contact us to tell us where the bag and the snake are, we would welcome that. The snake is venomous and should not be approached.
Oh my God, that is that's so good.
So between all the laughter and all the, making fun of this highly intelligent individual, I looked it up. A sloppy Joe refers to a sort of loose jumper. It's a type of jacket with a zipper in the front.
Okay. All right. I can see that.
Like a hoodie?
Sort of. I would guess
kind of like a windbreaker. It sounds like.
Oh, okay. All right.
So a zoo spokesman said that things were actually looking grim for the snake. He says the snakes will eat rice. He said the snakes will eat rats and mice, but they are generally a frog-eating species, that particular breed, and there are very few of those frogs in the inner city. The other big problem is that the urban environment is full of cars, humans, cats, and dogs, which are likely to attack the snake. The police have warned anyone who finds the snake not to approach it, and to give the snake a fighting chance. They also warned the snake not to approach any human beings.
Yes.
Oh, that was a good one.
No, it's true. It's what it said.
Equal representation.
So funny.
Oh, so unfortunately, I could not find any updated information on whether or not the snake was ever found. So I'm going to assume it's on the loose still and just terrorizing people.
Well, yeah, the snake is loose in the city, terrorizing children, dogs, and cats alike. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so that's our first episode of Murder Ballad Fumbles.
Oh my goodness. This was great. This was a great break from sad things. Honestly, this is my new favorite thing that we do. This was great.
Yeah. I knew when we first came up with the idea, I was like, we're going to have so much fun with this. And I have to say, yeah, this was just as much fun as I hoped it would be.
Yeah, this was great. Good episode, guys.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for joining us for episode 31. I am Janus Dead.
I'm Jameson Dead.
And I'm Joyous Dead.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.